So I would knock it out. But it's a super busy day so far. Yeah, no, being a media mogul. Nah, that's like.
No, you had a conference call, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, a little deal. Nothing big, but just a little something extra. It's not with like a site. It's with like a ticket. You've heard of SeatGeek, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Hey, I'll use it. But if there's a promo code, I'll use it for next Giants game I go to. So.
Push out some tweets and some links.
Then. So no steak for you last night, huh?
Nah, man, she ordered pizza, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm fat, but I'm not that fat. I couldn't eat pizza and then be hungry for steak, so we left them in the fridge, and tonight is the night.
Oh, you got a marinated ketchup?
No. Should probably open up the spreadsheet. Bro, when I hit my desk and I went to open up your files to edit, and I accidentally hit remove, I was like, how is that even a thing? Like, how is that an option? Why am I able to do that?
Because I made you like editor and admin too for this folder, I think.
Dude, I figured you were asleep by now. I was like, oh god, my man out here breaking down game film, and I done deleted. I was like,
ultimate sabotage, bro. I was like, damn, you must hate the material that much.
I've never noticed the remove button before.
Yeah. I think it still temporarily stores in like a trash can in your Google Drive, so it wouldn't have been.
So I thought so too. I went and looked at recent, and it was like one of my deleted spreadsheets.
Oh,
so I didn't know.
Maybe it puts it to my cloud trash can. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Good thing I didn't delete it too. I left it on my desktop.
Shout out to you for not deleting.
Yeah. Because I would have been devastated, bro. I worked on that so much, so.
Yeah, I mean, I would have felt pretty bad too, but.
You would have owed me, man.
We don't get to hear about the RAM screen.
The RAM screen. Ramstein.
Oh, is that a band?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I figured. Alright, buzzer beater. You're saying you're okay. There we go. Oh, what's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. It's May 3rd. Josh, have you watched Star Wars? Are you one of those nerds? I mean, I know you're a nerd, but are you like?
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, I've watched Star Wars. Why? Do you like it?
I've never watched it, so I don't hate on it, but I know it's like some subculture. But I do play a lot of Fortnite, and every freaking year there's this update for May 4th. May the 4th be with you, and they bring back lightsabers and crap like that. And then I don't know. I just know like tomorrow there's gonna be a lot of Star Wars jokes out there. And Star Wars nights and stuff like that. I don't know if you participate, and if we're gonna be live with you in like a Darth Vader cosplay or something. Gun. Feed Jimmy Butler.
Oh god.
So Jimmy Butler happened last night. You wanna let it out? It's a safe place. No. Yeah, maybe.
I moved on from it. I went to a really dark place last night about it because I had a couple cards for big money, and it just needed him for 4 assists. 4 assists. That's almost 2 below his season average with Lowry playing.
And I'm staring down the barrel of a 3.5 assist prop. Oh my gosh, bro!
Vegas pulled the long con, bro.
They hit that okey doke. Chat. If you guys don't know the story, yeah. So the closing line for Jimmy Butler's assist was 5.5. Well, the initial line that got put out on the sports books, on PrizePicks, whatever, was 3.5. So if you bet that a day in advance, you got like an insane value for 3.5. My boy Max bets to 3.5, as do many of you guys. And can you believe it? He gets just three assists. He hits the under on 3.5, and I'm sure there was potential assists left out there. What are you gonna do? But holy, that's got to be painful, bro. That's got to be painful. And I know Josh was at the Golden Gate. There was a whole thing. I saw it on the news. They had to talk him down. Yeah. But we're good. We're good. With all that is said, I opened up the Discord and it was a screenshot city, so we were able to make some money last night, and that second game really came through for a lot of people. Yeah. I know that Dorian Finney-Smith rebound sweat was fun, but he got there.
Yeah, and Luka cleared all his props. I mean, we were on his assists, he cleared, and his rebounds, he easily cleared too.
Yeah. Hey, it's Taco Tuesday, so you know what that means. Shout out to the live chat, though. Exit Screaming says, is maxing out the Taco Tuesday prop always a no-brainer? No, it's not always. Matter of fact, so if value-wise, right, versus their projection, they're going to give you a better line, but we've certainly seen a not 100% success rate on the Taco, for lack of a better term. So, but still, you want to be comfortable with the prop. What up, Chris? What up, Sway? Skimmer in the chat. Babe the Ape. Robert Bickerstaff. Chris Tippett. Giannis probably doesn't even clear Taco and scores 37. What up, Chris Robideau? Suaveless Jordan Klein. What up, Jordan? Who's the guy in the thumbnail? What's the thumbnail? Is it me? It's me and
first
and Steph. Oh, maybe, I don't know. It's me and Steph, but lost 202 cards with it. What up, Chris? All right, let's go look at the tacos for today on PrizePicks. So the voting was Giannis Antetokounmpo. They went from 28.5 to 24.5 points, or that was the options. Or get his assists down to 5, get his rebounds to 10.5, or get his PRA down to 43.5. Now, if it were me, Josh, I don't know what I would vote. Probably PRA since Giannis does everything. But what won is, or what's winning, it's not closed yet, is assist. So 5 assists for Giannis, and you talked about how Giannis was doing some facilitating, so maybe 5 assists is still fine, and that's looking like that's going to run away with it. But I probably would have took the PRA just to throw a blanket over everything that he does. So I'm going to vote the PRA. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now for Giannis. So
it's not closed, the voting?
Assist closes at 2:15.
Okay.
And I mean, it could be like in 1 minute, but it looks like it's going to be assists, which is fine. I don't hate the Giannis assists, so it is what it is. What up, Quinn? Like it up or Jimmy Butler assists will happen to you. Oof. Let me open up and add more funds here. But tonight's slate looks a little bit more fun, right? We knew and we've known that all year long the Heat games get a little bit rough and a little bit hard to predict. And we kind of thought that there was an outcome for the Sixers to be a little bit outclassed and overmatched, and that's exactly what happened. But tonight, hopefully a little bit more competitive games on the docket. We got the Celtics and the Bucks. Round 2, George Hill out, Chris Middleton out. Marcus Smart probably going to play a 215.5 total, 5-point spread in favor of the Boston Celtics. Giannis Antetokounmpo, I have him starting off at a 64 fantasy point projection. Hey, by the way, Luka, right? I never argue with my own algorithm ever again.
Yes, you talked stuff that led. I was like, man, it's broken for him.
Mm-hmm. Anytime.
You didn't like it.
Yeah. All right, so it is listed. Giannis's assist is up and live at 5. You got almost 3 hours left to take advantage of that 23% discount on what they were going to offer. So let that be a segue into us talking about the Bucks here. So you did some game film breakdown in the first look video today, and the Bucks are giving us some props to target Echo.
Yeah, I'm getting Echo, dude.
Echo.
Really bad.
I'm getting Echo. All right. Giannis Antetokounmpo has a Taco Tuesday assists, 56 fantasy points. My fantasy projection right now is on the over. 8.5 free throws. We get Drew Holiday into the mix at 6.5 assists. 38 fantasy points. Josh, can you mute for a second? We'll do the.
It's that bad, huh?
We'll do the drop, and then as I switch to you, we'll switch mutes here.
So we're gonna have to play hot potato.
Yeah, hot potato. I'll throw it to you, and then you throw. All right.
Oh my god.
Drew Holiday it's better now. 38 fantasy points on Drew Holiday. I have Drew Holiday right now sitting at 46, so I get about 8-point gap between my projection and theirs. So I don't mind looking that way. Bobby Portis is at 30 fantasy points. I currently have Bobby Portis sitting on 35 fantasy points, so not a giant gap, but still a gap nonetheless. And then I don't really want to get to these tertiary or secondary guys, but I will certainly let you discuss what you might be targeting there. Let's talk some of our props. Let's start working on the list here for the Bucks. First of all, Giannis Antetokounmpo, 5 assists. Are you buying into this one? If we go open up that NBA Wowie tool and pull up Milwaukee, if I put Giannis on the court and I put Drew Holiday on the court and take off Chris Middleton, I think we're going to see that Giannis has like a 1,000,000% usage rate, likely to play 38-plus minutes in a playoff atmospheric game. His assist rate is at 29%. So if he gets to 38 to 41 minutes with that type of assist rate, it's actually the highest on the team. Do you think 5 assists is a very smart bet? Do you think you want to max out the Taco Tuesday special here? I think this is one of my, I don't say favorite, but this is one of the tacos that they've put out, or one of the tacos they've done in the last couple weeks where I actually like it versus some of the other ones like the Ingrams and stuff like that. I thought were always fringe. I'm okay with this. Do you agree with that? And then talk to me about what Bucks you're targeting tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he really thrived with his playmaking last game because, well, for 2 reasons. One, the Bucks shot really efficiently from 3 that game, and so he was just dishing it out. I would say majority of those 3 balls came from him, from his passes, and then 2, the way that the Celtics played Giannis with their defense. So I talked about in the first look video. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out though. But I provide some screenshots I took from the game film, and basically the Celtics they had to change their defensive scheme, so they were just crashing on Giannis way too soon with double team help when he would get even near the vicinity of the paint, and so basically guys were just leaving the 3-point shooters that were trailing Giannis wide open. So there's always going to be some type of trailer behind Giannis, whether it's Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, and even Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez will wait up at the top of the top for him, trail behind him, and that's like a bread and butter of the Bucks. Giannis will drive, and then that trailer will move up to the top and wait for Giannis to kick it back out to him. Yeah, so they were the Celtics were double teaming way too soon and way too often. I think they're going to change that today. Coach Udoka said that he acknowledged that the defense messed up there. So expect some changes. And if we do expect those changes, there's a possibility that Giannis goes more attack mode here. If you give more one-on-one opportunities to Giannis and he's going head down, full steam ahead to the basket, that's like only good things for his scoring. And less maybe some less kickouts to the 3 ball. But I mean, he should still play make. I mean, he's Giannis. He's going to do it all. So I'm not discouraging from the assist. I'm just providing you because some different opportunities and avenues that could occur because this is NBA playoffs. It's every game is different. There's adjustments that are going to be made, especially as you get closer to the finals. So I don't think if you want to max out the taco, you can do that. But then if you want to consider his other props, you could go to his real points or his free throws. I do have a feeling that he's going to be more in attack mode if he gets these more one-on-one opportunities. So that would make sense. And then other guys, I'm lukewarm on. I mean, you can always consider the 3-point props for those trailers that I talked about. And you know how I feel about Grayson Allen, but he is going to chuck it from 3. Seeing his 2 3-point made is in play. Same goes for Bobby and Pat Connaughton. It's just like, you're throwing a dart, you're hoping you catch the guy that has the hot hand, or they all stay hot from three. And then Brook Lopez, I feel like his rebound prop's pretty low at 4.5. That you could consider that. And then they did juice Bobby's rebounds was close to 11. I think it was 10.5 or 11. Now it's back down to 10. So that's where it originally started. I probably lean more Brook Lopez rebound. And then all the other guys, all the other props, I'm lukewarm on. How about you?
Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, do me a favor. Your mic is peaking a little bit as well. If you could adjust something.
We're having audio issues.
We're going through it. Yeah, I'm with you on pretty much everything you just said. The Bobby Portis fantasy points is a little bit intriguing to me. We were talking about how didn't quite know what to expect minute-wise from Robert Williams and that ridiculous comeback. If you look at that last game, Robert Williams did start, tapered off, not closing the fourth quarter, only 22 total minutes here, while Brook Lopez, kind of the same situation. They were opting to go with Bobby over Brolo. So if that's the case again today, if we're going to get 30-plus minutes of Bobby Portis, anytime a center, an active big like Bobby Portis, has a fantasy score that's less than his possible minutes played tonight, I'm interested in that. So I probably do get to some Bobby Portis here, and he's one of those guys that can stretch, shoot some threes as well, and he does have one of those low 3-point props to touch on the Giannis situation. In my specific projections for individual props, I actually did have Giannis at 6 assists, so that would easily hit the over, or not easily. That would be leaning the over on the taco here at 5. So I would be okay with maxing this taco. And I'm going to start working on a list here for the Bucks. So looking with the Bucks, we're going to go Giannis, taco, max. And then past the taco special, is there a particularly favorite Giannis prop that you want to get behind tonight? Or do you just want to throw a blanket over everything that he could do and take his fantasy points?
Sure.
It's at 56, and like I said, I have him at 64. So I do, it's not quite 10 points, but it is on the over, and we expect him to play down to the wire, 37 minutes, and you could even see more than 37 minutes if the game stays ultra competitive here. So yeah, probably the Giannis fantasy points, right? And
yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It's the Armor Titan.
Okay. Giannis fantasy, and then do you want to do anything with Drew Holiday, like assists?
It would make sense, like if the Celtics do adjust and stop doubling Giannis as much, and maybe Giannis has more opportunities, like I said, to score in the paint, and a lot of those come from Drew. Maybe, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that open just for now. I also think we could justify his fantasy points being at 38. He just dropped 50 on him in that last game, and I think
he shot really well. But he's been so up and down lately. I don't know if you've noticed his game log or his games recently. He's like, his shooting has been really inconsistent.
That's such as basketball. But he is a do-it-all kind of guy, right? Like, he's going to get you steals, he's going to get you peripherals, stuff like that. So kind of like Giannis, if we're just going to take high-minute guys in the absence of Chris Middleton, I think Drew Holiday is the guy that I probably add to the mix here, add to the blender, and take his fantasy points as well. So I think I'm going to nominate his fantasy point line as a potential prop to write down. Let me get this DraftKings basketball open. It's much easier to look at the DraftKings game log than anything else. So, but I had the baseball. I had the baseball slate open.
So, gosh.
So yeah,
Scott Foster's officiating the Warriors game.
Who's Jack Harlow? Wait, do you not know who Jack Harlow is?
What?
Okay, never mind.
What happened? Sorry, I'm reading this article. What happened?
You didn't see that clip where Jack Harlow was like in the front row and Scott Foster was mic'd up and he asked this other ref, he's like, "Hey, who's Jack Harlow?" And the other guy had no idea. But it also looks like you have no idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on awkwardly. And expeditiously. Drew Holiday, last couple games, double-digit shot attempts, and the peripherals are there. Like I said, the steals are there as well. So I probably go after the fantasy points, and I'm probably going to nominate that. So let's put Drew Holiday FPS, and then I'm also game for Bobby Portis FPS, and Brolo and some of those tertiary guys we can leave for the fringe list on the prop detector. Let's get caught up on chat, then we'll move on to the next one. Wes, what up, Wes? Does tacos be stale sometimes? What up, Blah? I don't know. What up, Aguida? Holiday rebounds or fantasy points? I'm leading fantasy points. Eric says, I love Lopez rebounds at 4.5 plus. Also, Holiday over 4.5. I'm getting that echo again, Josh. Sway says Brolo also has a 20 fantasy line. So, okay, so same thing. So, even though Brolo wasn't getting to 30 minutes, we still got him to 28. So maybe in this case, if Brook Lopez is going to be a bench candidate in the fourth quarter, maybe we cut Brolo's look in half. So if his 20 full game is the line, maybe we're getting 10 for the first half. So maybe let's go look at the first half for the Bucks here. And what is Brook at? Brook is at 10 fantasy points. So maybe his first half has more. Maybe we look at the first half, since that's where he's getting the bulk of his minutes. At least that's what it was in game one. Josh, what do you think about that? If we want to target something, Brook Lopez.
Yeah, I think it's correlated to Robert Williams' minutes, because
I agree.
His minutes were majority were in the first half as well. So yeah, it just depends on how many minutes I feel like that each of them get and how much like Robert Williams gets, and I think that just depends on the scheme. If the Celtics want more offense from guys like Peyton Pritchard in there for their three ball.
Bro, this Bucks rotation looks like a game of Frogger.
Yeah, dude, that's not it.
It's not what you want. So yeah, I'll add Brolo first half. So Brolo first half FPS, and then I guess to double down on that, Brook Lopez played a lot in the first quarter. What's Brook Lopez's first quarter prop? If we really want to get degen with it, he's at 3.5 real points. So that's not fantasy, but that's a 3 and a board. That's not unrealistic. But I'll probably stick to the first half there. You ready to move to the Celtics, or did we miss any special?
Yeah, no. Let's go to Celtics.
Oh, Celtics are a 5-point favorite here in Boston. We take a look at their board. We got 27.5 real points on Jason Tatum, 3.5 threes for Tatum, 44 fantasy points, 6.5 free throws. Jaylen Brown enters the mix with 38 fantasy points as his line, 3.5 free throws. Marcus Smart, 6.5 assists. You mentioned maybe he was a little too shooty and needs to be a little bit more passy. Those are technical terms, by the way.
Yeah.
29 fantasy points is Marcus Smart's projection. And again, man, if these fantasy points are going to be lower than the minutes, I'm always interested, even if it's a Dorian Finney-Smith or a Mikal Bridges. But in this case, a Marcus Smart who's active enough, and I have him at a 37-minute projection. So I'm getting, a little bit of a gap here, almost an 8 to 9 point versus minute gap between Marcus Smart's fantasy point prop at 29 versus the minute projection. So maybe we nominate, Marcus Smart's fantasy point projection, or maybe we attack something like that assist prop that you mentioned on the video this morning. If we go pull up that Wowie tool for Boston, and we just put the big three on Smart, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, and compare assist rates. Mia Moore is home. Marcus Smart leads the team in assist rate during that split at 26%. So it does stand to reason that he would be the guy that generates a little bit more offense and then could bounce back on that assist line. 11 shot attempts in that last game, double-digit shot attempts in the last couple of games here, and the assist line was at 6, 11, 6. So it's right about where we want it to be, at 6.5, or where we expect it to be. Let's compare it to underdogs, see if underdogs juicing it up just a little bit. Sometimes their lines have been higher lately. Marcus Smart on underdog. Smart's at 6.5 assists over there as well. So it's a linear line from site to site. So yeah, I don't mind looking his way. I wish I trusted the fantasy points a little bit more, but I'm fine with that. And do we have any of those like small lines for Smart, like a 1.5 steal or anything like 1.5 block and steal on Marcus Smart? That would be something that I would be interested in too. Talk to me about what Celtics lines you like, and then doubling down on game one if Robert Williams is going to start, but also be limited and perhaps a bench candidate in the fourth quarter. Maybe we look at his first half fantasy prop to combat Brolos as well. What do you got for me on the Celtics?
Yeah, I really like Tatum today, especially his lines have dropped. I think this is going to be one of those games he's going to have to take over. I mean, this is huge. You can't go down 0-2 at home and lose the two first games at home. Put yourself in a serious hole. So I expect Tatum to really dominate ball handling, shot volume, all of it. And the Celtics offense will run through him. They'll do that. So they're going to run all those pick and roll actions that I talked about in the first look video and the game film. They basically run this ram screen and a lot, and the ram screen can actually turn into the good old Spain pick and roll too. It's called a Spain pick and roll actually. It's just like basically, I mean, all it is just a lot of off ball screens. You're setting a screen for the off ball screener who then eventually sets a screen for the a ball screen for the on ball handler. So expect to see a lot of that. Robert Williams is a key part of that pick and roll action too. So I don't know. Like I'm curious. I think that's the wild card of this series is like what is going to happen to Robert Williams in his minutes, because I don't think it's necessarily like his injury and conditioning. I think it's just more of a scheme and what Udoka wants to do, and if they can get more offense out of Williams with that pick and roll action, it makes sense to give him more minutes. I don't know. So we're gonna have to see. It just might be a game to game scheme thing where once he's in a game flow, if maybe he earns more minutes. But yeah, you can consider his first half. But yeah, Tatum. So what I'm debating with him is his real points or his fantasy, because his fantasy is pretty low at 44. I think you have him projected for 56 fantasy. So it's 55. It's like over a 10 differential. And his points are down to at 27.5. I just feel like he's going to be attack mode today, and super aggressive. And I also, with that said, being in attack mode, I like his free throws made at 6.5. He's going to be attacking the basket. And then Jaylen Brown. So he had a really bad game last game. I mean, a lot of the Celtics did. They shot poorly as a team, but I was watching that game. I watched it through multiple times, and it looked like he had like I don't know, like lost a step, and it might be due to that hamstring injury. I mean, he keeps saying it's fine, but of course the player's gonna say he's okay. But I mean, I want to click on him because these lines are really low. I mean, 38 fantasy points is really low for a guy who's so active on defense. His 1.5 block steals, he's been crushing because of how active he is on defense, like I said. And his points are down all the way down to 21.5. I mean, they're gonna need him today. He can't keep playing like this, but I just don't know if his lack of production is due to the hamstring or is he just like in a little cold streak. It's hard to say, but I mean, so I most feel comfortable with Tatum and just hoping that he carries the team today. And then so Al Horford, they started him on Giannis last game, and he ended up playing 35 plus minutes because they classically call him the Giannis stopper. He did pretty well on him. I mean, they gave Giannis obviously a hard time with those double teams that I talked about, and he didn't shoot that well from the field as a result. But I mean, like I said, they allowed him to be the playmaker. So I mean, Al Horford 28 fantasy points is pretty low for a big that's going to play that many minutes, 35 plus minutes. So you could consider that because I think his minutes are pretty secure just based on defensive scheme and how they want to play Giannis. Though it's just a matter of him staying in foul trouble because Giannis will rack up those fouls. And then for Williams, I'd probably just stick with first half for now.
So I was thinking of nominating Jaylen Brown's 2.5 threes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me. I had that on the first look list. Yes. Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna start the list off with Jaylen Brown.
I mean, I like. Yeah. See, all of his lines are enticing. It's just like you just don't know with that hamstring. But with the three ball, I mean, he could just stand there in the corner and be okay.
Yeah, and the shot volume for threes have been pretty much there. 9 3 attempts in that last game. We talked about how the Bucks allow amongst the most threes in the league all season long. Has been that way for a while. Scheme by design. So I like that. Looking at the live chat here, Tisha Tyrant says, Josh, Jaylen Brown probably played bad because of the hammy, and it was the last day of Ramadan. So a fed and what is I don't know. let's go with that. But yeah, that's not insignificant news to say that Jaylen Brown, not having to fast all day, just to start this game off. He could start off a whole lot better. So I do like Jaylen Brown's threes, and then what do we? Yeah, fantasy's fine too. I think the threes are just really light. What does Underdog have it? They have him at 2.5 threes as well. That just seems really light for potentially 40 minutes of guys going to be top 2, top 3 in shot attempts. So I don't know. But yeah, the fantasy points.
Yeah, he hasn't been shooting that well. So, but I mean, they're gonna shoot.
The other line that I thought might be interesting is the rebound prop, especially in that fourth quarter when they went with just one big. He had like 3 rebounds in that fourth quarter stint. So maybe he, as an active rebounding guard, maybe he picks up a couple of extra boards off the glass. He's averaging almost 7 rebounds against the Bucks this season, and we add a couple more minutes to his expectation tonight. So maybe the rebounds is interesting as well. Although you almost never see me chasing rebounds for a guard or a forward, but I thought that was viable here. And then, sure. I guess I'll space, but I think the Marcus Smart 1.5 blocks and steals is attackable.
What about Jalen's too?
You like Jalen's 1.5 as well? Yeah. I think the whole Celtics team. Jaylen Brown on the season averaging about 1.5 blocks and steals on the season, so I think it's attackable. Sure. You can eat after sundown. Yeah, you can, Cowboys, but when the game tips off and the sun's still up, you have a full day of. But that's not even. It's over. Like I don't even want to murky the thoughts or the waters with that, because we've seen several players thrive with that same situation. But yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So we listed off quite a bit of props for individual guys. So I guess we should try to summarize our favorite ones for him. Now, Tatum is going to be a top play for me today. I'm going off this gut feel. It's just like this is going to be his game. What prop should be number one? Should it be his real points or his fantasy? I'm wrestling with it.
I'm thinking fantasy just to throw a blanket over everything, because he is, he's not a scoring dependent guy. He'll do a little bit of everything. So, sure. And 44 is pretty low for Jason Tatum.
I'm right there with you. Okay, so let's rank that one, and then let's do. Man, all these are enticing, because his 3-point prop, he's gonna chuck it from 3 too. So he should take about 10 threes in this game. And in the assists is live too, because when they trap him, he's really good at finding an open guy, open 3-point shooter, and Al Horford and Jalen in the corner, and Grant Williams. All right, let's go fantasy. Let's go real points, assists, and then 3-point. Record it like that.
All right, Tatum. Let's go fantasy, then assists, and then 3 for Tatum, right? In that order. Fantasy, assists. All right. Bet. And then Marcus Smart, assists, or let's rank these. Do we want... Okay, the candidates are blocks and steals, assists, and fantasy. How do we want to rank those? I'm thinking... So I still think fantasy is really light for a guy... For a point guard who's going to play, 29 or 39 minutes versus
if he's healthy,
right? But I mean, He should be.
He's a tough guy though. He plays through stuff. So no, I'm with you on that. Throw a blanket on it. Let's just do that.
Fantasy.
Yeah. Because those assists, they rack up to 1.5 fantasy points. So.
All right, so we'll do fantasy, half blocks and steals, and then assists are there as well. All right, cool.
And then Jaylen Brown, we're gonna do 3-point made 1, and then fantasy 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
FPS.
I think that makes sense. Probably just mix and match, like do a card with like Tatum and Jalen, and then a card with Tatum and Smart. I'm not gonna do a card with all three, but I'm gonna just mix and match them.
All right, Robert Williams put in 22 minutes of work in that last game. I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't think he's like super limited. I think that was just like the lineups that Udoka wanted out there.
Yeah.
But I still think like you're more likely, like he's more likely to repeat what happened in that last game, meaning that they could not close with Robert Williams. So if I want to attack something for Robert Williams, maybe I want to focus on that first half. So looking at Robert Williams, first of all, his full game prop is 24 fantasy points, and so we're really looking for 12 first half if they offer it, to see if we're getting taxed. They give us 12 first half. So with the bulk of his minutes, at least in game 1, coming in the first half, I think attacking the 12 is probably the better bet than the full game. So I'm going to add that to the list towards the bottom here. So Robert Williams, first half, 12 FPS. Let me put a buffer into this too. Celtics bet.
And did you want to add Al Horford as like more of a mid-range play for his fantasy points, just because of foul trouble being a risk?
Is Horford known for fouls like that? I don't think he is.
He got into foul trouble quite a bit against the Nets. I remember that. So maybe it's just age, losing a step.
Or matchup. Was there really?
He
had one game where he fouled out. But I guess with Robert Williams on the court, maybe there's a little bit of help defense to switch off to,
Sure. Yeah.
So I would expect close to a point per minute production out of Horford. So at like a 36-minute projection, we're getting a 28 fantasy score.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I'd probably take the fantasy, full game fantasy.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to add that to the list. Al Horford, 28 FPS. Cool. Bam, there we go, man. We are chopping this up. All right, we get caught up on chat. Is Smart definitely in? I don't think it's. I still have him officially questionable, but man, Smart's got to be missing an arm to not play this game, right? NBA.
Right.
Let me see if I can get the official story on Smart. I think the hamstring is the main issue for Jaylen Brown. Yeah. I definitely don't need the Ramadan debate. You know what I mean? But there's certainly. I don't know. I don't want to say. You know what? I don't want to missay something, so I'm not. But the body does need nutrients and hydration when you're about to embark on 40 minutes of active gameplay. Let's see, quad contusion. Celtics head coach Udoka said that Smart's feeling quite a bit of soreness on Monday. Mm-hmm. Quote, he's a tough guy that's going to try and play through things. We'll get him some treatment today and see how he feels tomorrow, but he'll be listed as questionable. Smart's also dealing with a shoulder injury, but as Udoka said, he's a tough guy, so likely give it a go. If he can't, this would open up a ton of minutes for Derek White as the Celtics try to even a series. So I'll tell you what, the way that the vibe of that doesn't make me feel that great.
No, as I was saying, I said in the first look video, he's banged up, man. He's just gonna fight through it. And it sounds like the leg injury. I read more reports on it last night. And it sounds like the leg injury is the main concern, the main problem for him.
First half unders, baby. All right, so we won't end up coring Marcus Smart or anything Marcus Smart, really.
I mean, his assist, if he's just going to be out there facilitating.
Right.
But yeah, but still, it's risky.
Okay. All right, let's keep that.
I'm glad we looked at that.
It makes me
Tatum even more.
Yeah. I'm glad we looked that up. JD says, White or Melton tonight, FanDuel tournament? Well, I mean, after reading that, maybe Derek White, but, yeah. All right, I'm glad we looked at that. That definitely makes us feel a little bit more pessimistic about Marcus Smart. So I would imagine that Marcus Smart doesn't make our, like, core list, you know what I mean? But we will use it to correlate with other stuff, especially that assist prop versus maybe his assists and Jaylen Brown's threes correlate positively in a card. So,
yep.
All right. Are you ready to move on to the last game?
Let's see. I mean, okay, let's say for any reason that he's not starting or is limited today, we could look out for Derek White props, I would say. Right before lock, they probably give it to you.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, let's talk about the last game, but also I want to mention, I know we have like Taco Tuesday for PrizePicks, but check this out. Underdog, another one of our partner sites, has something similar to the tacos. Matter of fact, they switched it. What happened here? Did Drew Smiley get scratched? Chat? Somebody know? Anyway, they had a prop where Drew Smiley throws a pitch. You win. Let me see. Yeah, Drew Smiley got scratched. Oh, he got placed on the bereavement list. Oh, that sucks. I hope everything's okay. So I'm sure that the whole point of this is for you guys to have a free square. So kind of like Taco Tuesday, this one literally doesn't miss. He's going to throw one pitch. And if you guys didn't know about that, now you know. You can pair this with anything that we've talked about for NBA as well. So maximize the promotions, maximize the free money that's out there. And speaking of maximizing the free money, if you sign up for Underdog using this link in chat, you will get double your first deposit up to $100. So just wanted to let you guys know there's a lot of free stuff out there, a lot of promotions you should be taking advantage of. So pair Scott Efros over half a pitch with just about anything that you like, and I would probably recommend just pairing it with one pick and just like doubling down on that to hit. Same with the taco, and then using that to boost a little bit of bankroll. So check that out. It's very similar to PrizePicks, and they also have really cool stuff like drafts and the Best Ball Mania. Millions of dollars involved in that, and we'll talk more about some props from site to site. So like I don't know, we had We were talking about some of these props. I don't see like a lot of difference today. Usually, lately, it feels like a lot of these underdog lines are a little bit higher. But for instance, the fantasy points on Jaylen Brown it's under 38, so that's pretty linear. The scoring is the same, by the way, chat. And then Al Horford's at 10.5 real points, 8.5 rebounds. We don't have fantasy points projection on him there. Anybody else that has a really attackable line? Bobby Portis at 30 fantasy points, essentially the same as PrizePicks, and then they have Giannis at 7 assists. So we can use that as a way for us to feel better about the 5 assist prop that we're getting on PrizePicks, right? And then even if you like the 6 or 6.5 or whatever the actual line is, they actually have them a little bit higher. So take the value, line shop between sites on what you do want to get action on. For instance, the 58 fantasy points on Giannis over there versus Giannis at on PrizePicks at 56. You're getting a better deal on PrizePicks for 56 and vice versa. And sometimes you can use that as a way to go grab some unders. Anyway, let's talk about the main event tonight. And we will start with Josh's team, the Golden State Warriors, as they head into Memphis. Game 2 of this series, a 227.5 total, a 2-point spread in favor of the visiting Golden State Warriors. Game 1, a lot happened that would make Game 2 not 1-1, right? The lineup was different than we expected. They gave us Gary Payton. Draymond Green gets ejected.
I called that.
the Peyton or the ejection.
The
Peyton.
Peyton.
Right.
Yeah.
Then Draymond Green gets ejected. And then we see Ja Morant kind of play a different style of game than we're used to him playing, such as taking 11 threes. And it's
30 shots. It's like
Yeah.
32 shots, right?
That's not normal. not in this not in this offensive scheme. Usually Ja Morant is going to let the threes be in the hands of Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bane, everybody else. And then we also saw Jaren Jackson when he was able to stay on the court.
Fake.
He was a problem. So, and we know Jaren Jackson game to game, he's going to deal with foul problems. He is one of the league leaders in fouls for 36, and maybe the absence of Draymond Green for half the game also boosted that. So there's a real chance that this game is completely different than the last game. And also, it was just a 1-point game, and Draymond Green's probably worth a little bit more. You take out some of the outlier performances from one side. I'm curious to see how you think Game 2 plays out, because we're dealing with outliers. We're dealing with ejections from Draymond might be the most important player on the team. And then we're dealing with coaches' adjustments. So how do you see this game going? And then lead me into the Warriors side of things for prop betting and what you might be targeting tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was an awesome game. But like you said, this game's gonna be so much different, I feel like. But I think it could still be a good game in terms of point differential. It should be close. Memphis is gonna fight right back. They're gritty and they're gonna fight back with the Warriors. But yeah, I mean, Jaren Jackson's he's not gonna make. What was he, 6 and 9 from three land? Yeah, 6 and 9, and then how often does Morant make 4 threes in a game? It's usually like one, at best. So and Bane, as a result, suffered the most from this trickle down effect. He took 5 threes, and he's normally takes 8 to 10 threes in these playoffs. So his potential was cut in half big time. I think Memphis gets back to its roots in this game and tries to get Bane more involved, because he's clearly their best perimeter shooter, and they need with that said, they really need to get Dylan Brooks out of the picture on offense. I mean, this guy, he's just not it on offense, and he's just so up and down. Talk about inconsistent. I mean, his game logs are like a yo-yo. You'll see spike game, 4 game. You just don't know what you're going to get from him game to game. I get why he's out there. It's for his defense. He's kind of like a Jay Crowder. But he needs to cut down on his shot volume. He's taken way too many shots in these playoffs, both series. And yeah, I mean, I think in that first game against the Warriors, I think he had 4 or 5 air balls in one game. I mean, it just looked bad. And then you just watch him. It's Dylan Brooks. He'll come out and he'll probably shoot 5 or 7 from 3 tonight. That's just how he is. But yeah, I think they try to get Bane more involved here. And yeah, so I do like Bane's 3-point prop with that theory. And then his points are pretty low at 17.5. I just feel like it's a bounce back game for him. Things are going to change up. And then Morant, I would probably go with his double-double prop or one of his rebound or assist. The points are live with him, but I just don't think he's going to take 30-plus shots again. And I think the Warriors are going to adjust to him, because they let him get to the paint too easily in that last game. And Jaren Jackson, yeah, so I mean, yes, the 3-point shooting was fake with him, but I think he had a lot of success in the paint, which is well known. I said all season long with the Warriors, they're very exploitable in the paint, especially when Draymond's off the court and you got guys just like Looney out there. So I think Jaren Jackson can continue to thrive in the mid range and post game, but the only concern with him is just the foul trouble, and you have Scott Foster as the head official tonight. I might just stay away, man. I don't know. I mean, maybe his rebounds. I think surprisingly the Warriors dominated rebounding last game, especially the offensive glass, and that really killed Memphis, the second chance points by the Warriors. So I said in the first video, I think that the Grizzlies do come out and make an emphasis to stop those offensive rebounds and be better at rebounding. Because I mean, on the season, Memphis is the best one of the best rebounding teams in the league, and actually they are the best offensive rebounding team. Second chance putbacks because when Morant drives to the basket, that creates so much offense where it spreads the defense out, crashes defense in, and they're going to get second chance points from those missed layups from him driving.
Yeah. Also, Steven Adams.
No, Clark's an offensive rebounding machine, dude. Like, majority of his rebounds come from the offensive glass.
Yeah.
So and that's because Morant drives so much and pushes the envelope. Where when the blocker has to come off the defender, or the defender has to come off his guy, the center, to come try to block Morant. He's not focused on rebounding and boxing out. So that just, when he misses that layup, that's just so many offensive putbacks. So I'm leaning Clark rebounds here, and his fantasy points is in play too, but I'm thinking rebounds. I think they're really going to focus on the rebounding here. So I'm going to do Clark rebound, and then if I had to play of Jaren Jackson, I guess I would do rebound, but I'm worried about foul trouble. And then Morant assist or rebound or his double, and then Baines points or a 3-point made. And what was the other one I had on the first look video? I think that was that was the core. That was the core I had. And I guess Brandon Clark, he wasn't involved as much as in the offense because of all the 3-point shooting by Jaren and Morant, but he can maybe get more involved in the offense. So his real points could be in play too.
So Scott, what does Scott Foster mean for this game? Does it mean we should be looking at more free throws, especially for guys that might run into Draymond Green like a John Morant running into the paint? All right. Then let me open up the PrizePicks Discord real quick. I believe the next taco is a Steph Curry taco, and it sounds like it's been voted on. So let me pop open Twitter
That was
here.
fast.
I think so. I'm looking at chat, and it seems to suggest. So let's go to PrizePicks Twitter account. So, by the way, on the list, I have Clark, 8.5 rebounds or fantasy. Desmond Bane points to 3-pointers. Did you have anything on Morant? Okay, we have voting's up now. All right, chat. If you're on Twitter, let's let's do this right. It's for Steph Curry. Here's the stats that you can vote for: PRA down to 32.5, assists down to 4.5. Points down to 21.5, or rebounds down to 3.5.
Oh, points, easy.
All right, we'll vote for that, and it looks like everyone is voting for that. So I expect that to win by a landslide. So it looks like the next taco that we will see today. I feel like a election day coverage. Gundecker Gaming News is projecting that Steph Curry points will win this election. And 21.5. So look out for that. So let's use that as a segue.
And first of all, you answer your question. You asked me about Morant. Yeah, I was on his double because he's been
Marcus Smart just got ruled out.
Derek White.
All right. And then that's going to boost assist props for the other two. So, all right, cool.
Morant, you asked me, I said double. Because you can get it done in multiple ways.
All right, double.
Are you muted?
Yeah, I am. I was going to say, right now we still have these Celtics lines up on my end. So you could go grab assists real quick before PrizePicks take them off, which is going to be any second now.
You're saying for Tatum?
For Marcus Smart being ruled out.
Yeah. It boosts for Jalen's assist too.
Yeah. By the way, let me get the official report here. Sam says Marcus Smart is out. So big there. But yeah, it's a boost for everybody. But it also saves us from the trap that is Marcus Smart. So lit. And then just for the sake of running the on-off court tool here, let's put Tatum and Brown on. Let's take off Marcus Smart. and see where the facilitation comes in to play. The assist rate goes. Oh, dude, I forgot they had Dennis Schroeder on the team. Let's take him off. Do we expect them to start Derek White? If so, yeah, I think they will. I guess Peyton Pritchard could be somebody that gets more minutes too if they drop his point prop or something like that. When we put Derek White, Tatum, and Brown on the court together, Tatum leads the trio in assists rate in that split, but it's actually not as significant as you might think. But Tatum is almost a 1.3 fantasy point per minute in that split, so I do like to maybe double back on that Tatum fantasy point prop that we were already on. And as of right now, I'm looking at the stuff still on on the board here, so you guys can take advantage of that. Milwaukee just won this series by default. You think so? With no Marcus Smart, definitely a big key defensively. But hey, man, Boston has been resilient and a really good team defense. So we'll see. Grant was 11-11 hitting his PRA prop. Okay, I think I saw Grant Williams on here. Yeah, I don't see PRA, but they might add it later. I see 16 fantasy points. All right, getting back to the Warriors here. Steph Curry's taco is likely to be debuted at 21.5 real points, so I expect that to be something that we do like. Talk to me about what Warriors props you want to add on, and what does a game without Draymond? Draymond played the first half, then ejected. The second half, he didn't play, and they went to the death lineup without him: the Jordan Poole, Kevin Looney, Curry, Klay Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins lineup. What does that mean for this game here? If we're getting 4 minutes or 4 quarters of Draymond today instead of 2, what was different in that second half than the first half? And do we look for Draymond Green props with the Scott Foster with a whistle in his mouth? They start him off at 32 fantasy points. We know he does a little bit of everything, especially when it comes to facilitating. What are you liking on the Warriors? And to start the conversation, would you max bet the 21.5 points for Steph Curry when that taco gets released?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a bounce back game for him. He did okay last game, but he definitely has room for improvement shooting wise. And both him and Klay, I think it's a bounce back. Could be bounce back spots for them. Yeah. So interestingly, there could be a silver lining in Dre getting ejected, because what happened as a result is Steve Kerr kind of found this little nugget unit, and it was super efficient. I know it might have just been a blip, a 1-game thing, but basically the major difference in what kept the Warriors in this game without Draymond was this unit of Jordan Poole, Kuminga, Otto, Klay, and Gary Payton. The unit was super efficient. It was plus 11 or plus 12 or something like that. That unit played majority of the start of the fourth quarter. And with that unit, they could really spread it out with Klay and Otto out on the wings for the 3-point shot, and allow Jordan Poole to just have the whole court to himself and be able to drive and kick it or drive to the basket. And then you had Gary Payton out there to help with guarding Morant. So, I would, if I was Steve Kerr, I would play this unit more as a second unit. And then what I would do is kick Looney off the second unit, and I would play more Looney with Dre, because Dre has already come out and said that he likes playing with Looney. And doing that would also reduce the amount of fouls on Dre and help out with rebounding, which Memphis already said they're going to be very aggressive with going forward in the series to make a difference. That's my gut feel. I think that would make the most sense. You start Dre with Looney, play or just play Dre with more Looney, and then play this new unit more. And then so but with all that said, I still like Klay to bounce back. His 21 points is pretty low. And then Gary Payton, I think he's carved out a role in this series for sure.
So I was gonna ask about that, because What like you think Peyton starts again tonight? Steve Kerr seems like the type to have one curveball each game.
Yeah, he maybe he doesn't. Maybe the curveball is my theory. Maybe he
The
starts
Looney
Looney.
Draymond, I could see
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay, I didn't want to cut you off,
Yeah,
but
no, you're fine. That I think those are the two scenarios. I think it'll be Gary starting again, or it could be Looney starting. Because Gary did play really well with that second unit with Poole, so that would make sense for Gary to stay with Young Glove to stay with Poole on the second unit. But I mean, you could still get on some Gary props. You know, he's such an underrated rebounder. I mean, the kid's got hops. Both him and Otto are really good rebounders. So if they can play 20 plus minutes again, I could get on their rebounds. They're gonna be needed to help crash the glass. That's for sure. But I mean, their PRA is also tempting. Like, yeah. So I'm wrestling with between Gary Payton's rebounder PRA. I have to think about that some more, but I think both should be considered just due to his role in this series. And then Draymond, yeah, you could consider his fantasy points. If they announce that he is starting with Looney, that would mean that they're gonna play more together. So that would make me feel better about Dre. Not getting in foul trouble or getting ejected. Just having a big body to fight down there in the low block with them. And then yeah, so Clay real points like I mentioned, and then Steph's real points or fantasy. I expect a big bounce back game for both of them, and especially with Dre playing, because Dre they feed off of each other. They're crucial, and then Jordan Poole. Yeah, Memphis basically didn't believe in him, and I guess now they're gonna have to believe in him. They didn't give him the respect he deserves, so I expect them to give him all the attention he needs today. But I mean, I think his 3-point prop is too low at 2. He's gonna check it from 3. So I would consider that, and probably maybe it just depends on the unit. I would hold off, but maybe he's assists. It just depends who he's playing with. If he's playing with guys like Dre, getting a lot of minutes with guys like Dre and Steph, I would hold off on that. But if he's running a second unit with Otto and some minutes with Clay, I could consider it because he gets a lot of assists from Clay. But yeah, I like his 3-point prop probably the most.
yeah, I like that quite a bit too. So they did yank all the Celtics props. We'll wait for them to adjust. I would expect reasonable increases in a couple of the maybe assist props and the fantasy point props. I probably expect Derek White or Peyton Pritchard to start as well, but I also would look for Jaylen Brown to have a little bit more ball handling if he can help it. And then that also makes a little bit of a better matchup for guys like Drew Holiday and some of those guys that might cross over with Marcus Smart's defense in the guard rotation, whether it be Grayson Allen or Pat Connaughton, guys like that. So maybe those props adjust, or maybe they don't, and maybe we just take advantage of it, because we were already on Drew Holiday fantasy points, and in my notes I wrote, yeah, it was at 38. So Marcus Smart at 38 fantasy points versus Marcus Smart. And with that said, Derek White's a great on-ball guard defender, so yes. it's not like it's like a plus matchup. It's probably more of a lateral than anything, but it's still Marcus Smart. We give him some respect. So cool.
Are we just gonna get Bucks and Suns finals part 2? It's trending that way.
That was my guess all along. As long as the Suns are healthy, I think they're the best team in basketball.
I agree.
I do think though, like, basketball's a game of runs and get hot. I think the Warriors can be the best team in basketball if they're the hottest team, right? So I think they have a puncher's chance at stunning the Suns if they just can't miss from 3.
Sure.
So I don't think it's a lock, but I think fundamentally I thought that the Suns and the Bucks, and then the Celtics as well. I thought a healthy Celtics team is probably one of the hardest teams to get
Yeah,
past.
it's unfortunate, man. They're getting banged up at the wrong time, dude. I mean, Jaylen Brown's banged up, and now Smart's out. It sucks.
Yeah. All right, so recapping this list here, chat, man.
Yeah.
Just can you do me a favor, chat? We've been holding over 100 viewers this whole stream. Can we get to like 60, 70 likes? Just hit that thumbs up. And then if you guys are not official channel members of this channel. Something we've been doing as a thank you to those of you that do support the stream and support the channel, the video, stuff like that. When you do grab that membership, it's like $5 a month by hitting that join button below. If you link your Discord to your YouTube account, you'll actually also get access to this channel, the YouTube members channel, and we've been sharing the prop detector, all of our favorite props in there. So again, it's not saying you have to play all these props or whatever. It's just like, hey, you want to see what we're playing, what we like? Here's a list. You can cross-reference it, mix it with some of your stuff, and then when I can help it, I'll throw some of my favorite baseball stuff in there as well. But yeah, shout out to all you guys in that Discord, man. A lot of you guys jumped in there today alone. Austin, the real one, knee and only, Detox Control, Too Much to Handle, NSG King, JWB3 Trey. Shout out to you guys for jumping in there. There's a link in the Discord below, or a link in the description below to get in that free Discord. Completely free to be in it, completely free to talk shop. The only thing that you have to do is be cool. Bring the vibes, man. It's a family atmosphere we got going on in there. A lot of toxicity in gambling chats and Discords elsewhere, group chats, whatever. We don't do it here. We want to see greatness. So if you can handle that and you want to be part of that, click the free Discord. And then if you want, we have levels of support and awards. So we'll do the prop detector in the YouTube channel as well. And then, of course, in the rundfs.com VIP Discord. So looking at the list that I got, Josh, before we get out of here, to recap the Bucks, I had Giannis. We can max bet the taco. We like it. Giannis fantasy points, yes. Drew Holiday fantasy points. Bobby Portis fantasy points. Brook Lopez first half fantasy. Celtics were on Jaylen Brown 2.5 threes. And I will say this: Derek White sucks at shooting threes, right? Yeah. Marcus Smart's a little bit better, so maybe Derek White on the court boosts the likelihood that Jaylen Brown's the guy that they want to shoot the threes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just another plus there. And you might see Peyton Pritchard come in and chuck threes.
They like
as
to
well.
use him for threes too, and Grant Williams from the corner.
Yeah, we had Jason Tatum fantasy points /assists /threes. We'll take out Marcus Smart from this list. Al Horford, 28 fantasy points. Robert Williams, first half, 12 fantasy points or something I was digging. For the Grizzlies, I only jotted down Brandon Clark, 8.5 rebounds /fantasy points. Desmond Bane, points and 3-pointers. I think we'll add more. You'll have more on the core list.
Double too.
All right, John Morant, 0.5 double. And then on the Warriors side, I had Jordan Poole over 2 threes, Steph Curry taco, and then I didn't have anything past that. Do you have something like warm and fuzzy that we should
Clay, 21
points. I hate when like 3 guys are at 20 points. You know what I mean? But those are the 3.
You just don't know who's gonna get hot. Yeah.
Exactly. And then so we'll start sorting this. We'll start adjusting, do a little bit more research, fine tuning the list here, and then we'll have that in the YouTube members Discord and then the rundfs.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. I got to adjust my projections for Marcus Smart. I got to finish my baseball spreadsheet, my baseball lineups, player pool. So there's a lot going on. You want to hang out, grab some more chatter, go to rundfs.com, get yourself a membership, but get in the free one, get in the free Discord. It's literally free. You should be on it. Looks like 78% of people still want Steph Curry's points to be the taco. 7 minutes left on that, so looking like that Gundecker Gaming News made a good call at projecting that to be the Doborowski, right? Which link in the description to get in on that YouTube members? Need to get on that. Chris, that's not in the description. That is in that's above the description. Although I'm not sure if you're watching on on mobile. So here I'll show you what it is. I'll pull it up. You're gonna hear me for a second. 7 minutes left on that. That's me. Right here. Oh, wait, where's the member? Oh, the join button right here. When you click on join, there's a couple different options. The $5 a month one gives you the badge, the emojis, and then you link that to your Discord. There's a couple different stuff. But the bare bones main one, $5 a month, man. It's a cup of coffee for the free content every day. If you click on that and you do that, and then link your YouTube to your Discord, it'll get you access to the YouTube members channel. But the Discord itself is completely free, so make sure you're in that. That link is in the description as well. And then you want to be into the PrizePicks and Props channel. And look at these boys cutting it up, man, cutting it up. You just love to see it, boy. Okay, Vince. Josh, we got a boomer alert.
What?
Whenever someone, instead of taking a screenshot, just takes a camera, like a picture with their phone of the screen instead of the screenshot. Come on, Vince.
Hey,
Boomer alert.
Vince is a homie, man.
I like Vince.
Homie in the chat, dude.
He's got the right vibes.
Yeah. But yeah, we gotta get.
You can't do that, bro. You just can't do that.
Maybe his button is broken.
No, not acceptable. We're not justifying this. Matt says thoughts on Draymond 2.5 stocks. Yeah, that's what Draymond does. I don't mind it. What else we got in chat? Bucks are winning the championship until someone proves otherwise. I'm okay with that take, Suave. I would think a lack of Middleton short term could be a hole because it takes one bad Giannis game or one team to get hot from three. But I don't know. Looking at the East, man, I thought the Celtics were the team to beat. And if they're going to be limping through, it's a problem. So, Time Lord may get hurt by no smart. They have a real good thing on alley-oops. That's a good call out, Steve. And then that's it. That's like you don't have to print the internet. All right.
So who do you got winning tonight? You got both home teams winning or losing?
Dude, I'm gonna say this: if the Grizzlies can't beat the Warriors without half a game of Draymond, with a crazy outlier game from Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson, I just don't think it's gonna happen, man. So I think the Warriors win, and I guess I gotta say the Bucks are gonna win, but
so the home teams go 0-2.
Okay. We'll see on the Celtics though. I think it's easy to write the Celtics off. Like I said, I don't think they're taking a.
They shot really bad, they missed open shots last game too.
And yeah, Marcus Smart to Derek White. I don't think it's as big of a downgrade as we think. Maybe shooting wise, yes, but defensively and facilitation is still there. And then Peyton Pritchard, he can be a bucket. So I think the Celtics still have a shot. The Celtics were 5-point favorites, so we'll see what the line moves to. I don't think Marcus Smart is going to flip it. I think it might go to like 3.5, maybe 2.5, maybe 3. So I think if the Celtics are going to win one game, it's going to be this game.
I agree with you on that.
I think it's possible. So, anyway, chat, I appreciate you guys hanging out, making part of our day, be part of your day. Tell somebody you love them because I love you. Good luck out there. I'm eating steak tonight, by the way.
You got that ketchup?
Tons of ketchup. That George Foreman grill. Good luck.
Can you
God
record
bless.
it and get some ASMR with
some
it?
money. I'll tell Danny. She's gonna cook it up. We're like, Danny, I'm gonna need you to.
Oh, let's get that too. I want the sizzling like as you're cooking it in the George Foreman.
All right, chat. Go make some money. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man. You gonna be in the baseball chat?
Yeah, I'll be in there in a minute.
All right, I'll catch you.